Welcome to today's Explainer. We're about to embark on a seriously mind-bending journey into the future of human connection. For the last 15 years or so, smartphone innovation has basically just been incremental. We get slightly better cameras, maybe a marginally faster chip, or bezels that are just a tiny bit thinner. We've kind of hit a brick wall with the classic glass slab. But here's the thing. According to our sources, that old hardware paradigm is fracturing as we speak. We're standing right on the edge of the post-smartphone era. And this isn't just a trendy buzzword. It's a massive shift toward ambient computing and zero UI environments. We're talking about a future where we literally stop looking down at a separate handheld device and start connecting to the digital world continuously, right through our natural senses. Okay, let's dive into this. What if I told you that one day you won't even need a smartphone to use the internet? I know, it sounds a little crazy. But when you look at the trajectory of mobile hardware right now, we've pretty much maxed out what a pocket-sized screen can actually do. Think about it. Our main gateway to the internet requires us to carry around this incredibly fragile piece of glass, physically hold it in our hands all day, and constantly split our attention between our real physical environment and a digital simulation. Researchers are actually arguing that this physical screen is the ultimate bottleneck. It's holding us back from truly seamless computing. Now, the idea of completely ditching the device we use for literally everything, from banking and working to texting and navigating, might sound super jarring at first. But looking closely at the limits of our current tech reveals that moving past the smartphone is exactly where human-computer interaction has to go. And that brings us to the rise of invisible tech. Now, we aren't just sitting around theorizing about some sci-fi screenless future here. Major research institutions and huge tech giants are actively laying the intricate physical groundwork for this right now. It all comes down to massive breakthroughs in miniaturization. We're talking about scientists developing micro-LED displays that are literally the size of a single grain of sand. Yet they can project images bright enough to see clearly in the middle of a sunny day. No way, right? Plus, we're seeing incredible leaps in spatial audio and these advanced environmental sensors that can map an entire room in real time, barely using any battery power. The big goal here isn't to just sell you another gadget you have to remember to plug in every night. Instead, they want to build a digital overlay that stays completely invisible, completely out of your way, until the exact split second you actually need it. So how does this invisible computing actually happen? Well, it basically breaks down into a progression across three distinct tiers of tomorrow. First up, we've got the refinement of smart glasses. These use advanced waveguide technology to literally bounce light directly into your pupil. It brings the digital world right to your face without blocking your actual physical view. Next, we scale up to broader wearable tech, the rest of your body. Think intelligent fabrics or haptic rings that pick up on microgestures. The big hurdles here used to be battery density and keeping things from overheating, but as those get solved, this tech is just going to naturally weave into the garments we already wear. And then we reach the ultimate leap, tiny brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs. Using high-density microelectrode arrays, researchers are actively mapping neural pathways to create direct internal mind interfaces. It's wild. You can see the brilliant progression here, right? The tech is getting intimately closer to our biology, moving from a device we hold, to something we wear on our bodies, to something integrated directly into our nervous system. Now, the absolutely crucial takeaway here is the massive behavioral shift this unlocks. Think about our default state right now. Every single time a notification pings, what do? We drop our gaze, totally sever our situational awareness, and stare down into our palms. Research points out that it takes a huge amount of cognitive load to constantly context switch between physical spaces and digital interfaces all day long. But as spatial computing evolves, that friction just vanishes. Digital info effortlessly overlaps onto your natural vision. The physical contrast is night and day. You keep your eyes up. You stay visually and physically anchored in the real world, while all the data you could ever need dynamically integrates into the three-dimensional space right in front of your eyes. By keeping our eyes up, we fundamentally change how we move through the world. I want you to really visualize your everyday routine right now, but entirely transformed. Think about all the little moments of friction. Right now, if you need a vital piece of information, you have to pause your walking, fish your phone out of your pocket or bag, unlock it, navigate an operating system. It's a whole process. When we eliminate that physical phone, we entirely remove that friction. You enter this state of continuous digital flow. Sure, you finally fix your terrible phone posture, but way more importantly, you reclaim your visual attention. You reclaim your presence in the moment. The core promise of ambient computing is that you get all the robust power of the internet, but you never have to sacrifice your connection to your immediate physical environment to use it. Let's break down exactly what that looks like for everyday actions. Take sending a quick message. Instead of stopping dead in your tracks to furiously type with your thumbs,
Tiny sensors could pick up on a micro gesture or even sub-vocalizations, letting you fire off a complex reply while you're still walking, totally hands-free. And what about entertainment? With spatial computing, your favorite video isn't trapped in a tiny, restrictive 6-inch rectangle in your hand anymore. It can be projected and locked directly into your 3D environment, scaled up to the exact size of a massive movie theater wall, right in your living room. And getting directions? Oh man, this is a real game changer. Instead of staring down at a flat 2D map app, augmented reality uses SLAM, that's simultaneous localization and mapping, to literally illuminate glowing digital arrows right onto the physical sidewalk in front of you. The technology does all the heavy computing, effortlessly integrating right into your continuous field of view.
So, seeing how incredibly seamless this could all be, it brings up a really fascinating tension. Let me ask you, would you actually give up your smartphone for this future? It's a pretty intense ultimatum, right? For the past decade, we've been so heavily conditioned to rely on the comforting, familiar boundary of a physical device. A smartphone is something you can literally put down. You can turn it off or toss it in a drawer when you just want to disconnect. Leaving that tangible hardware behind means embracing a world of ubiquitous, frictionless connectivity. A world where the digital realm doesn't just live inside a designated box in your pocket, it lives everywhere, all around you, at all times. Could you make that trade-off? Our source material frames this as a clear choice in this rapid technological evolution. But diving into this explainer forces us to look way beyond just the cool new hardware and actually examine the fundamental nature of our connection to the internet. We are moving away from being mere users of separate tools and inching so much closer to an existence where connectivity is basically the air we breathe. If the digital screen literally dissolves into our physical environment, are we just changing the external tools we use? Or are we fundamentally altering how we experience reality itself? It is an absolutely profound paradigm shift to watch unfold. Drop a comment with yes or no if you ditch your phone for this future, and make sure to follow Future Tech Insider for more amazing future tech. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.